and welcome to your Independence Update. I'm Lauren Culver. On the week of November 18th to the 24th, the library is putting on Storytime activities. One of the events is Baby and Me Storytime. Enjoy some time with your babies for nursery rhymes, songs, tickles, bounces, and books. No registration is required for ages 0 to 12 months. Contact Melissa Henry for more information at 248-625-2212 or at henrym@indelib.org. The Clarkston High School Band is having their fall band concert on Thursday, November 19th. All are welcome to attend. The Clarkston Chamber of Commerce is having their annual meeting on November 20th. This will be a celebration to members. The event will also include the installation of officers, election of directors, and more surprises. The Clarkston Village Players are putting on a show called The Smell of the Kill by Michelle Lowe. 3 not quite happily married female, not quite friendly friends find themselves with a unique opportunity when their spouses accidentally and collectively put themselves in a potentially fatal situation. Marital ties and friendly alliances are tested, forged, and broken as the women consider the situation. Will they or won't they call the authorities to save their husbands? Attend the show on Thursday, November 19th, 20th, and 21st at 8 p.m. For tickets, call 248-425-5842 or email cvptickets@comcast.net. On Tuesday, November 17th, the Clarkston High School is holding their fall concert. The concert will start at 7 p.m. The Clarkston Independence District Library is celebrating Thanksgiving Day early on Tuesday, November 24th. There will be a ton of crafts to make, including a turkey made of Reese's peanut butter cups and other delicious goodies. Supplies will be provided, but registration is required. Hosted by Miss Weasley Ann from 6 to 7 p.m. Also on Tuesday, the Clarkston Chamber is putting on a lunch rally at Sportsman's Great Northern Grill. Everyone is welcome to join for the meetup at 11:45 a.m. Even if you cannot make it to this lunch rally, the Chamber encourages you to start your own lunch rally. Pick a day and time and go out with family, friends, or coworkers, and support local restaurants. That should do it for this week's update. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, if you have a story or information you'd like us to share on Independence Update, please contact us at 248-623-3661 or email us at update@independencetelevision.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next time.
Hello, Clarkston. I want to congratulate our Transportation Department on receiving a Certificate of Excellence. We had 100% of our buses pass a safety inspection, so congratulations on keeping our students safe and all the great work that our bus drivers and our transportation department does every day. Last week I had the honor and privilege of going to Washington, D.C., where Pine Knob Elementary was recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. I traveled with teachers Lisa Drew, Karen Kuman Sinclair, Principal Jody Yellowshawn, and the President of our Board of Education, Mr. Steve Heyer. It was a wonderful experience. 335 schools were recognized nationwide, and Pine Knob stood out for its excellence and its high achievement, both academically and socially, emotionally, all the great things that happen at Pine Knob. A wonderful school for us to celebrate as a community, and I was thankful to be part of that. Thanks to Jody Yellowshawn for her leadership, and to Lisa and Karen for all the great things that they do, along with all of the teachers and students and parents from the Pine Knob community. Congratulations and thank you. We have had a TV show that's been going on for the past year. It's called Be a Kid in Clarkston, and it's hosted by Angela Avery, who was a therapist locally who works with teens in our community and other children and families. And she has a show that talks about what it means to be a kid in Clarkston. She looks at different ages, different areas of child development, parenting, about social and emotional development. And this past week she had a show that's focused on the Leader in Me program that's going on at North Sashaba Elementary School, along with 3 other elementaries in Clarkston. She had 2 Clarkston teachers from North Sash, Mary Skorupski and Loretta Gagnon, on the show, along with a student, Sequoia Brooks. And they talked about the Leader in Me and what it means to them, how it works, and what their hopes are for the future. That program has been in place at North Sashaba for the last few years, and again, it started at Springfield Plains and Clarkstonell in the last year. So it's growing and it's expanding. Also at Pine Knob, and it's a great program that she has, Angela Avery. I hope you'll tune in. We'll send that out on an e-blast. It's great information for our community, for our parents, to understand what's going on in our schools and what we can do to help all children grow emotionally and socially, which is so important. And related to that, I wanted to share with you an article I read recently. It's called World Class Expertise. It's by Scott Barry Kaufman and Angela Duckworth, who are researchers at University of Pennsylvania. And this is a quote from that article. It says, "Human expertise is acquired. All talents are developed through a complex interaction of nature and nurture. A love of work, high energy, persistence, a sense of mission, courage, delight in deep thinking, tolerance of mistakes, and feeling comfortable as a minority of one predict creative as well as personal achievement, often better than various indicators of scholastic promise in childhood, including school grades and IQ test performance." This article to me is really, really powerful. It relates to what I said previously about Be a Kid in Clarkston, about social and emotional development. I'm really curious to know what the kids in our community think about expertise and about expert performance. I'm really curious to know how students view excellence, how they view academic achievement, how they view achievement in athletics, in the arts, and in other areas of life. I really would like to know how our students perceive these ideas. I wonder what our kids think when they look at someone next to them who's having an easier time with the concept, maybe learning to hit a baseball or learning to hit the high notes, learning to dance, learning a mathematics skill. What do our kids think when somebody sitting next to them has an easier time than they do? And I hope our kids understand that hard work, that following a passion, that pursuing a passion, that persisting in difficult times, that overcoming failure and seeing failure as an opportunity, that these are the things that lead to expertise. These are much better predictors than how well we do on grades in school, how high we perform on an IQ test, how hard do we work, how willing are we to persist when something is difficult, how do we continue to try and learn and practice. And as we do these things, we build up our expertise. The experiences we have in childhood help us throughout life in order to develop expertise. We might have children in our community who really show a proclivity towards expertise in a certain area. Maybe they really catch on fast. And if those kids don't have continued experiences where people are encouraging them, where they can practice, where they can fail and try again, then they're not going to become experts, even if they showed that sort of early on ability. So I really want our kids and our community to think about what expertise means, what it means to achieve at a high level, how important it is to pursue a passion and to practice something, even if it's not something that ends up being what you do for the rest of your life. If you love to tinker, if you love to work on cars, computers, if you love to talk and interact, if you love to read, if you love to do math, to build Legos, if you love to act, to argue, whatever it might be, the more that you practice, the more that you learn about it, to dribble a basketball, to write poetry, practice and continued practice and work and effort and a passion determine how well you do in most things in life, including being a family person, being in relationships, being a parent, being a friend, being a community member. How hard do you practice even when things are difficult? So I'd love to continue to have these kinds of conversations with people in our community, for community members to have these conversations around the dinner table, and to talk and to encourage our children to practice, to pursue their passions, to love what they do, and to not give up when things are hard. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. I look forward to seeing you soon.